So we have a guest, maybe.
Yeah. Yes. Actually, he's in the back room.
Oh,
So he sent you some Bigfoot footage, right? He had a sighting.
yeah, right. So he sends me big. So why didn't I write his name down? I should remember.
Tyler.
Tyler, yeah, Hieronymus. You remember his last name? Okay, so Tyler sends me this, and right away I thought, "Ooh, this is interesting footage because it's far away. Somebody's going to fake a video. Generally, isn't going to do this kind of video. It's in a power line. It's walking across the power line, and right away I notice it's smooth, like there's no head bob, right? None. And then I notice it's doing this, lean back and forth, kind of as it walks. And I've only seen that one other time, and that's with the Memorial Day footage. Okay, after this creature runs, and then it stops, and then when it stops, it's walking really awkward, kind of this, like it's got a lot of weight on its shoulders. Well, then something pops up and stands up on its own above the head of the creature, right? But so his footage just kind of reminded me of that, even though there's no baby that I can see. But the way it walked reminded me of the Memorial Day. So anyhow, I blew it up. It's monochromatic, meaning it's all the same color, right? It's no clothes on it. Or if it's got clothes, it's got like bib overalls and a coat. That's all the same. So anyhow, blow it up. I do pixel samplings of frame after frame after frame. I can't find any diversion in the coloration. It's chocolate brown. Then I start really blowing it up, and I can see the head leaned forward as if it's looking at the ground, which is another trait. Not that somebody couldn't fake this, but let's go ahead and bring Tyler on. And
Hey, Tyler.
there he is. Good to meet you. Can we hear? I think are you muted? You're muted, Tyler.
Yeah, if you just want to unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry. How are you all doing?
How's
it going?
Doing well.
So should we play the footage first, Tyler, and then talk about it?
Sure.
Tell your story?
Yeah, that's
okay.
Fine.
All right. Go ahead and play it, Alex.
Okay, so let me make this full screen.
I think I had some foul language in that video, so
well,
me for the language.
What is that?
So forensically, there's not much you can do, but I did what I could, but it passed every test that I put it through. In other words, if you say that that's just a guy, excuse me, you would have seen coloration differences in the pixels because I sampled tons of pixels.
So Tyler, what was going through your mind when you saw this?
Well, at first I thought it was somebody, but right off the rip, I knew it wasn't, because so the direction I'm facing, watching this thing walk, there's a road behind me, and to the right there's only one way in and one way out, and I think where it comes out is there's an old dim road that comes across this power line, but I think it came a little bit more, like a little bit before the road, like through the thick woods. So in my head I'm like, why would someone take the path of most resistance, knowing there's an old dim road right there? Well, that old dim road comes out to the road behind me. And if someone would have been there, the truck would have been parked and I would have seen it. And that's how I knew it wasn't somebody. But it started picking things up off the ground. And that's when I started filming it, because people don't do that. I'm an avid hunter. I've deer hunted, turkey hunted my whole life. I've spent a lot of time in the woods. I've seen people up close and personal. I've seen them from a distance. And I'm pretty good at determining, like, okay, that's somebody. But I knew there's just something wasn't right about what I was looking at.
Yeah. Well, that's the best reason to film. Yeah. Literally, it's a legitimate reason. Something's not right. And when I looked at it immediately, I could tell there's something not right here. It's not just a guy walking across the field.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I mean, what did you think when I sent you the blow-ups?
I was impressed, because I could tell, like you said, where the head was down.
Yep.
Like that's not normal.
Yeah.
That's just, I was impressed. It was yeah, that right there. That is so bulky to just like to be lodged over because
Right.
these things don't really have a neck.
Yep. And I did frame captures on many frames. It's quite, it takes quite a while to do it. I could not find any red flags other than it's just crappy footage. You know what I mean? It's so
Right.
far away.
Grainy
Did you try to
Yeah.
zoom in on it?
I was zoomed in all the way
Oh, you were.
on an
Oh,
iPhone 13,
oh, that's a good.
like
That's a good
literally
camera.
as far as I could get it out there, and roughly it was 564 yards away from where I was standing.
Yeah, that's a long ways. Oh my
And
gosh.
where that thing is standing at, another 600 yards further is the Florida Trail. And I stood there one day where this thing was at and seen someone on the Florida Trail. I could see skin, I could see color. I seen a hat, I could see a backpack, a walking stick. I was like, that's somebody.
Yeah.
But something just wasn't right about that.
So, do you have any gauge in your mind on size? To me, I could only determine human size. Could have been way bigger. Certainly bulkier than human.
Right.
So,
Well,
what's your guess?
I'm thinking bulkier. So I can't remember these two guys' names to save my life. I think they were from Elba, Alabama,
Mm,
and they seen my video and they drove down here and did a compare. They made their own video and did a comparison. And his dad is roughly my size. I'm 6'4", about 245 pounds.
mm.
Um, and I looked at them side by side, and one you could tell that one was much bigger than the other.
Very interesting. So, what were you doing in the immediate area?
So I was out hiking all day, and I was coming out of the woods from where I was at. I was at a different point of the Florida Trail.
Okay.
So I had about 30 minutes to kill till I had to pick up my son from the bus. So I pulled up on this power line and just sat there to see if anything might come out because I jumped a couple deer that day.
Right.
And it was a Wednesday afternoon, about 2:30. Your average deer hunter is in a tree stand by 1 o'clock, 1:30. Um, Wind was blowing also too, pretty good, about 15, 25 miles an hour. And that was
Okay.
in the,
So, well, let's back up a minute. You said the deer hunters. Was it open season, gun season, bow and arrow season there?
it was archery season.
Archery. Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Who's going to be out in a suit?
Yeah.
Some kind of animal suit during archery season.
Right. But I mean, even just from me being a hunter my whole life,
Yeah.
it's not normal to see a hunter walking around at 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
Yep. Well, we'll never know for sure.
I know.
But I have to say, it was probably one of the more intriguing pieces of footage I've seen all year.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
And maybe, maybe in the future, there'll be more that can be done. I mean, there's so many artificial intelligence programs
Mhm.
coming out. I mean, they're coming out like crazy, like literally every day now to enhance video. Someday that footage may be valuable.
Right.
Someday. It doesn't have any scientific value, but it does have value because you kind of know what it's not. We know it's not a bear. We know it's not a deer.
Hmm.
I pretty much am, unless it was some guy with all brown overalls and he must have had shoe covers on and he must have had his face covered because I couldn't see there was no coloration differences anywhere.
Oh, wow.
None. Not one, couldn't find one pixel. Different shades of brown, but very, very close.
Hmm.
So it's fantastic stuff. Do you want to show? I think there was one more picture. I think I blew it up even bigger. So it's even a bigger blob, Alex.
Yeah. Let me get it up.
But all we can get, no, I think it's the other one. It's the one
Yeah,
closer than that.
yeah.
So this is a different frame completely. Taking it a completely, like way down the line, still in that position. What did it ever walk by anything that you could see as far as size gauge? Anything?
I mean, it went behind that, those big power lines, but I don't know. It was so hard to tell because I
Yeah,
was just so focused. Like, what am I looking at?
yeah.
And when I got back in my car, I FaceTimed my mom, and she said, "You look like you just seen a ghost." I said, "Mom, I'm looking at something, and I don't know what I'm looking at." And
Really?
at that point in time, it was rocking, like swaying. back and forth, like between like these two little pine trees that were growing on the side of the road. They're probably like the size of coffee cans.
Yeah. Alex, can you play the footage again so people can see
Yeah.
the smoothness?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, people don't do that. They don't rock back and forth in the woods.
Why don't we shut our cameras up so we can blow it up bigger? There we go. So if you look when it first starts walking, you'll just notice it almost looks like it's not even touching the ground because of the smoothness of their gait, if in fact it is a Bigfoot.
Yeah, it just glides.
You know, if you, one of the things you could do, Tyler, is get footage of yourself in that same, you know, try to gauge about where it is. There's a few landmarks there. Get out there and film yourself walking, or have somebody film you walking to show the difference in the head movements of a human. That would be somewhat helpful.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you could do a side by side.
Yeah, then we can kind of see. Yeah, there's points, or even Alex noticed it when I first showed it to him today. Just how smooth it was.
I mean, it looks inhuman the way it's moving.
Yeah, the other thing was the wobble. I'm going to go ahead and get back here. Was the thing that was going like this in some frames as it was walking, which is not a human characteristic. Humans just pretty much just kind of bob up and down when they walk, especially in rough terrain like that. You know, when you walk in a field like that, it's generally really a lot of potholes and, you know, junk, and you're really going up and down. And this thing is just graceful. Pretty amazing.
Right. Yeah. It was just, I don't know. It was weird.
Good job. You gotta, can you send, Tyler a hat? The very least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get you a hat, Tyler.
Appreciate it.
We'll get you a Hunting Untold Radio hat.
If you want, just shoot me your address on Messenger.
Yeah, I can do
Get
that.
that sent out.
Yeah,
Cool.
thanks so
again
much.
for sharing.
Is there any place you want to direct people?
What do you mean exactly?
Well,
direct
do you
people?
have a YouTube page or
Oh yeah, I have
Facebook?
YouTube channels. Tyler Howell Outdoors.
Oh, okay. Yep.
My buddy Matt was Supernatural Spectrum. He's the one who sent me your direction.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we got
Very
some projects coming up.
Very cool. Well, stay in touch. If you find out anything or film some more footage, you know, of yourself or your buddy out there walking, it would be helpful.
Absolutely.
Love to see it.
Yeah, one of our main spots that we've been doing research. I've been up there for over the last year now, close to a year now. Typically, when the leaves start falling, activity starts ramping up, and a friend of mine, he's already been catching some good audio out there.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it's
So there is some type of activity. Did you want to come back and play some audio clips?
Yeah, I'd have to figure out how I can get them here on my MacBook. Yeah.
Alex can help you. Just message him.
Okay.
Yeah, if you just send it to me, I can share it. It's no problem.
Okay. Yeah, it's my buddy Flat Rock. He lives right in southeast Alabama.
Oh, cool.
He's got some things in them woods. Is all I'm going to tell you. It's wild.
And last thing, what part of Florida exactly?
So, do you know where Pensacola is?
Yeah, of course. Yep.
Okay. You ever heard of Fort Walton Beach?
Yes.
Okay, I live about 40 minutes north of Fort Walton Beach.
Yeah.
I live maybe 10 minutes from the Alabama state line.
Okay. It's been a lot of Bigfoot sightings in that whole area.
Oh yeah, I've been getting a lot of emails. People have been asking me to come out to their property, look and listen.
Okay.
Show me this, show me that. I've seen and heard some very interesting things.
Very interesting. Super cool. All right. Thanks, Tyler. We got to get on to another guest, but thank you.